have to go south.
I love it. Ifiok, say it.
It pains me so much.
Hello and welcome to Scrumbelavable, our Quilter Nation series preview show that's as lippy as a scrum half after 3 espressos. Every week we'll be here to review the latest matches, look ahead to the upcoming fixtures, assess team lineups and put our guest prediction powers to the test. We'll also be doing some combined 15 games, which you can get involved with too by heading over to our Q&S game zone. Joining me this week to kick things off, we have some familiar faces back by popular demand. Mr. Ifiok representing the Northern Hemisphere and our resident South African, Johnny. You just couldn't get enough of Scrumbelavable, could you, boys?
Couldn't
No.
at all. Here we are, happy to be back.
Happy to be back indeed.
Is the real reason that we've got to fight it out of who's getting the tat?
Oh, listen.
There's no fight here.
No,
There is no fight. France lost to South Africa. I want to see it.
What was
Wasn't that the deal?
The naughty,
but I
naughty North?
do the naughty North.
We're going strong. We're going strong.
Oh, I don't know how we're going to settle this debate, guys. Maybe it's whoever is the overall winner with the North versus the South.
There are still some games ahead
There are.
where we can assert more dominance as a Northern Hemisphere.
Got a full episode ahead to make some wild predictions.
Well, from wild predictions to some wild moments, before we get into the rugby, I think we're going to throw it to my personal favourite moment of the week. The not trio, what is it? What's a four?
What's it?
Quadro?
4 people.
4 people.
Yeah.
Little dance troupe. Go on, producer, can we get it up? The incredible TikTok. So good. Oh, I'm literally obsessed. I wonder how many times do you reckon they did that?
How many times have you watched it?
That's a great question.
Too
That's a great
many.
question. Who thought they had that much rhythm?
I know.
Who knew?
I keep just walking around, just going do 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 do.
And it's caught on as well. People are loving it.
They are.
People are loving it.
Who knows what the score would have been had they been practicing more on the field than that?
I mean, they're still doing pretty well. Also, Freeman's calves, incredible.
Mad.
That's what I
Didn't even
noticed
notice
from that video. Well, should we get into it then?
Let's get into it.
We're going to go and we're going to start off at the Allianz. And I think this was the biggest game of the weekend. I'm guessing you're a pretty happy man if you're.
It was huge. It was a mad weekend. I think there was a lot of, the atmosphere was crazy. Everyone was sort of unsure. Everyone was confident, but they're like, what side is going to turn up today? Are England going to come here and be like, cool, this is our house, we're going to lay down the law? Or are the All Blacks going to show up and be like, we're world class? And what a game it was. What a game it was.
You were both at that England All Blacks game,
We
right?
were indeed. Sadly, we couldn't actually link up. We wanted to
know.
desperately grab a photo together. But yeah, it just turned out there's no signal in there and there was 80 minutes of good rugby to watch instead.
Have you been to the Allianz before?
I've been a
Johnny?
few times, but the funny thing is it's always been for South African games in England. It's crazy. So it was my first game ever watching England at home. And my word, swing low, sweet chariots.
Yeah.
Absolutely humming throughout there. I didn't realize how loud it can get.
And seeing the Hacker live.
Well, that's
No, sorry. No, seeing Pollock's licking of the lips.
Oh, yeah. I guess those go hand in hand. But yeah, to go back to your point, I guess it all started with that. Pollock licking his lips to the haka, but Chariots was drowning the haka out. I don't know what your opinion is though on that, because I, as a South African, when I'm at the stadium, I went, was it 2 years ago, the pre-game to the 2023 World Cup. New Zealand was playing South Africa there, which we got a pretty good win there. Listening to that haka, dead silence. And it's actually quite powerful to do that or to listen to it. But I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things where I actually posted a video about it being like, should you accept it? Should you stand there? What would you do if you were facing it? And some people in the comments were like, it's a challenge. It's a war cry. You can accept it how you like. Some people are like, you shouldn't be drowning it out. That's so disrespectful. But in the moment, hearing it being drowned out was quite impressive.
It was special.
quite
I'll
impressive.
give you that.
Yeah, I think I love the spectacle of it. Like I always, and I've just got to give the Welsh something. I feel like we started the trend many, many, many moons ago
charging it
when
down.
they did the standoff. And I remember being like a little girl and just thinking this is the coolest thing in the world. So if it gets people involved and hyped and like into the game, then I don't think there's a problem with it. But yeah, fine line between respect and disrespect. But that was before we even started.
Yeah.
But what were some of your favourite moments from the game?
I think some of my favourite moments would probably be how world-class George Ford is just standing out.
So
Going
good.
into those 2 drop goals before half-time looked effortless, absolutely effortless.
Do you know that changed the game?
Oh,
Because
100%.
you think what happened just before then. So Bowden Barrett, bless his heart, love him to bits, one of my favourite players. He missed touch twice. So
Yeah.
he was kicking for touch, missed, and then he went for touch when we were right in front of the poles. He could have taken it to 15-5, but instead kicks for touch and misses. And then, you know what happens later, 35, 37 minutes later, and the game is 12-11 instead of 15-5. And, that second half, England came out quite dominant.
Yeah. Also, we need more drop goals.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I loved a drop goal.
The atmosphere just lifted. It was like he just had it in his back pocket. It was like, oh yeah, you know what? Go on then.
3
And then
points
another
in
one.
the bag.
Yeah.
2 of them almost worth a converted try.
Effortless.
Do you think that maybe he is one of the best British and Irish qualifying players who have not actually been a British and Irish Lion?
100%. Like how he's now cemented himself in that squad. Unreal. It's going to be difficult for Finn Smith and Marcus Smith to try and take that position. I know some people are still saying Faz is knocking about, but the way George Ford is managing the game, undeniable.
Yeah, I was shocked before the show when you said Ford hadn't been selected for the British and Irish Lions. And I was like, oh, actually, you know what? You're right. And that is such a shock. But I think he's proving himself time and time again.
And we obviously can't talk about the All Blacks. What are your thoughts? Have they sort of lost their aura? Do they need to be worried? Do they just have an off day? What are your thoughts, boys?
I think they're not playing badly. You saw what they did against Scotland the week before. Like they always have had world-class players. They're still there playing well. It's not that they play badly. I think they've just been always on such a high pedestal in comparison to other teams that now they're losing a little bit of form. It's like, is this a new era for the All Blacks?
Yeah, I would agree. There was 2 standout players for me as well, and that, particularly if you go back to that Scottish game, I loved that match, and it was Peter Laquet. He was absolutely dominant, and then he was pairing up really, really nicely with Wallace Satiti. And they just, I know Satiti was on the bench on the weekend, but there just wasn't that extra flair. It felt like after 20 minutes, they just disappeared. And that's, uncharacteristic for a New Zealand side who we've all come to know is like, I know it's terrible saying it as a South African, but, probably the greatest rugby nation. Oh, can we delete that? Clip it. Cut.
South African says the All Blacks are the best in the world.
He's got to take a sip of his
Sip of
water.
water.
What have
I don't
said?
usually get nervous, but I'm starting to get shaky, you know what I mean? Oh, no. But yeah, it was a pity. Like, I loved watching the game, but I would have loved to have seen them show up. But it's good to see Scott Barrett back, and he's in the team for the weekend. So
Yeah, time to redeem themselves. Now, should we take a trip down the M4 to Cardiff? And it's got to be said, Ben, you did call it. You said this could be the kind of sneaky little game of the weekend. And in some ways it was right to the death. But nerves of steel there.
Yeah. Was it Jared Evans taking
It
the last
was.
conversion? Like,
He
talk about
just
how-
come on. I think he came on in the
First
79th or 78th minute, and then he's like, right, go on, go and win it for
Match
your
winner.
country.
high pressure moments, but he didn't fold under the pressure. It was an exciting game as well. Full credit to Japan, giving it to the very end, and then Wales managing to nick it at the last minute.
it was a tough one because I was gutted for Japan because
Yeah.
you're like, this is a nation that they bring so much like pride and passion to the game. It's the same with Fiji, and they've been one of those nations that is always emerging and just hammering home and never like just having a passive day off. But at the same time, Welsh rugby's been in a difficult place at the moment. So I think it gave
They
the
needed
Welsh
that one.
fans
Yeah,
something
yeah.
to cling on to.
I imagine the night out in Cardiff afterwards.
It must have been unreal.
Now, a mention has got to be said to Ollie Cracknell. He was Wales's top carrier with 13 carries and 24 tackles. He put in a pretty impressive shift to come into the fold this series. He's making a name for himself.
Yeah, I think this Nation Series, it's like an opportunity for a lot of players to be like, cool, this is my name, you're going to remember me. And then they'll go back to their club. But while they're playing in this international stage, it's like, look, I can step up to this level. I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. And remember me for it.
That was an unreal stat. That's like Peter Steff, the toy quality tackles. 24, did you say?
Yeah, 24 tackles. Unfortunately, he tackled so hard, he's injured now. And
Oh,
he can't play
no.
on the weekend.
I didn't even see that. Shame.
Now, we're going to go to your favourite match of the weekend, I'm sure. South Africa, Italy. Go on, Johnny.
Favorite match of the weekend? Yeah, to be honest, I have to be honest because I was at the stoop before the game, so I only got to watch the first half. And what a crazy tight first half. I mean, it was 0-0 until about 33 minutes into the game. And then I think it ended 9-6 or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was really down to penalties in the first half. Obviously, poor Franco Mostert going off with a red card. It's such a tough job for the refs and all the officials to get that right.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to decipher what's right and what's wrong in terms of a tackle. So I'm not, blaming anyone, but when you're down to 14 men and inevitably then 13 men, and Mostert is off from the 11th minute, it's an uphill battle. But clearly, Rassie knows something because with reduced men, he still manages to pull it off.
It's insane. He's got an answer for everything, that man.
Yeah.
The 14-player team is his new skill. I'm very impressed.
What do you
by
call that? I mean, it's not the bomb squad. It's the reduced squad.
Tactical genius is what he is, mate.
Yeah, efficiency.
Yeah.
Also, another talking point is Italy left 8 points on the tee. Do you reckon that could have swung it in the end?
I reckon momentum, if you're gaining those points, like, cool, you're staying close, the crowd as well will be like, cool, we're actually in this game. And you'll feel a buzz about the pitch, like, cool, we can do this. Because everyone wants to take it to the World Cup champions. You want to stay within touching distance. So I think it would have changed the dynamic slightly. Yeah,
I agree. I think any points left on the tee, just as I was saying with Bowden Barrett missing the points when he was going for touch, that changed the whole game. It's the same for Italy. When you're a man down and you're leaving points potentially that could be on the board. That must be a tough one to look back on against the world champs.
It is. Those kicks are important. Well, we're now going to take it over to Ireland. They ended up winning pretty comfortably, shall we say, in the end.
Yeah.
It was a tough day in the office for Australia against Ireland, wasn't it, on the weekend?
Yeah. I don't really know what's going on with Australia. I always want them to do really well.
I think they're just really tired.
I think they're burnt out. But they're still stringing together good patches of play. They're still getting on the scoreboard. But Ireland were just class. Matt Hansen.
Hat-trick before half-time.
Yeah, no, I think it was in the first half an hour.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was just like Australia was just opening a nice wide gap and Hansen was like, all right, I'll have breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, and it cringes me when I do, but I am just loving return of the Mac as well.
Yeah. It's also so scary that if that's Matt Hansen's first start at 15 for Ireland, like, the possibilities are endless. Yeah. They can do so much.
And with a scrum cap, we're going to get him on the wing for South Africa.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Well, we do love a scrum cap here at Scrum Believable, guys.
Well, we love backwards caps.
Well, that's actually true. Caitlin, where's yours?
Where's mine? Oh, they just don't suit me.
I know. Maybe we'll all get Scrum Believable hats for the next episode.
No, we should just literally sit here in scrum caps for the next episode. I'm surprised they've not made me do that yet, to be fair. Next week, that'll be my intro. Forget Alanis Morissette. I'll be rocking the scrum cap. And Australia, that's the 6th defeat now in 7 tests. What do you reckon? Do you think that they can come back from this? What was going wrong for them, boys?
I think they've played some really good rugby throughout the year. You can't discredit that. They've played great opposition. They've scored great tries. They have a good team that they're building. So I genuinely think they're just reaching this stage of the year where they're just very burnt out. I wouldn't say it's too dramatic that they're like, oh, what's going on with rugby in Australia? They're clearly turning it around. So hopefully they can just manage to string together a good final result of games.
I think you touched on it there. It's not a lack of creativity to scoring tries. I mean, it's evident that they can score a try. I just think at the moment, it could be fatigue, whatever it boils down to, is defensively they're just conceding too many tries. I mean, the fact that we joke about it, Mac Hansen running through for 3 tries, the first were in the first 15 minutes, and that sets you back early on, and then it's just an uphill battle in terms of reducing points. And then they managed to score a couple of tries, but could have been a very different game had their defense been a little bit better.
Yeah, and I feel like the answer is going to be no, especially with the resident South African here. But who do you think is the best coach in international rugby? Can you put Farrell in there?
Rassie Erasmus, hands down, the GOAT.
I'm not even going to.
I know, it almost pained me to ask the question. I mean, there is something to be said. Won a Lions series, obviously Grand Slams and the Six Nations. But yeah, Rassie
and he's just passed his 50th cap on the same day that Sia got his 100th cap. 50th cap.
Wait, do the coaches get caps?
Well, I guess, I don't know if it's officially called
They do in South Africa.
But they do, don him with a cap, maybe Waterboy hat going on there. But 50 caps and he's nearing 80%, if not over 80% win rate. I mean, that's pretty unbelievable.
That is quite impressive. I think England fans will say Steve Borthwick's had a great run this year.
Was their 10th,
10th
victory.
Which is a huge contrast to where we were last year. Completely turned it around, but I might have to agree.
We'll have to
Rassie's on a bit
revisit
of a
this
roll.
maybe after the Six Nations or 2027 World Cup. Now, over to France. France versus Fiji. Did you guys manage to catch that one?
I did. Fiji are really letting everyone know that they're just not here to be walked over. Keeping the game super close, playing great rugby. They have Caleb Muntz at 10, dictating the game really well. I think it's just annoying for them when they just can't see out the game, can't finish the game. I guess France are a world-class team, stringing together crazy tries. But it's just a bit frustrating, and I'm not even Fijian, so I imagine how passionate they must be. Like, oh, we're always getting so close, and not quite getting the results.
Yeah, I sadly didn't even get to see the game, and then I looked at the score, and I was like, and watched a couple of the highlights, and I was like, oh my word, there actually wasn't too much in this.
I think they're only 1 try down at half time,
There's real promise as well. Like, whereas before they would be in it, and then sort of second half, last 20 minutes, it would really stretch out. But they're giving the opposing teams a real good go.
It also begs a question as well, because, France is now slipping down the world rankings, and, the pools are going to be coming out soon for Rugby World Cup pickings. I don't know if they're going to be in a pool of death scenario. And it'll be interesting to see in terms of like how they pick up their game, because they've obviously, they fought against South Africa, give them full credit. But if it's going to be a tight game against Fiji, who are not a nothing side, clearly, it's going to be pretty interesting to see who they get paired up against.
Definitely. And we can't leave this game without talking about Olivon and his gorgeous moustache. How did you guys enjoy seeing him back out there after his ACL injury?
I think it's so good seeing players come back, especially players that are on such good form
and out of position.
It's like, oh, cool, you can do this and do it well. Like fair play. So being able to see that, and I think because no one likes injuries in rugby, like it breaks your heart. So everyone's happy that he's back, 100%.
And finally, I think this actually might have been my favourite game of the weekend. Scotland, Argentina. Just wow. That comeback was incredible.
Insane.
So impressive. Were you back in Argentina or Scotland? Where were you guys lying on that one?
I was back in Scotland.
I was back in Scotland too.
I was until Argentina then just started putting in a show for us all.
That was a tough game in terms of the fact, like, who do I support? But as a neutral, it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're like, poor old Scotland, they laid it all out there against New Zealand, didn't quite get the result. And I think, now it happened again.
I think it's a bit, and I think Scotland fans might be a bit frustrated that their football team is performing slightly.
Shout out to the Scottish football team, though. Huge congratulations. And Murray, our producer, is absolutely buzzing. So
the rugby team need to follow suit.
And I mean, this is quite incredible. They were 21-0 up with, like, what was it, 50, 55 minutes to then go and lose 24-33. It's devastating.
Yeah, I think this whole Quilter Nation series has shown how important it is to play for the full 80 minutes, to manage your bench really well, to be consistent on the pitch. Like, it's never over until it's over.
Yeah.
So the whole bench thing, I was saying to a chap that I was sitting with at Allianz on the weekend, and I said, the bench is almost becoming the most important aspect of rugby at the moment. You look, we were saying there were 6 British and Irish Lions players on the bench for England. I mean, that sort of depth, as we said in the last show too. I mean, that's incredible that England's got that depth. South Africans love to boast about their depth and, the versatility between their players. But I mean, Argentina, full credit bringing on some strategic players that managed to turn that game around quite quickly.
Yeah.
I should have written this down. I'm probably going to butcher it because we've got the bomb squad. And I think, did I write it down? I think Argentina are calling it Los Bomberos. Bomberos?
Nice.
Maybe we'll have to edit this one out and I've just absolutely offended anyone who speaks Spanish.
No, but I think it's so important to see that even within professional rugby, people are now understanding how important the bench is. Obviously, everyone wants to start, but everyone on the pitch and in the wider squad has a role to play and is going to play it well and wants to play it well.
Yeah. And we've got to speak about Scotland and ask the question, are they underperforming? Are they performing well? Is it something more serious? What do you guys think?
I think they've probably underperformed this time in this internationals that have been played so far, but they'll probably turn it around by the time the Six Nations comes. They'll
Although
play
they
England and
have
they'll win.
never finished above 3rd in the Six Nations, which is kind of crazy when you think of the team that they have. You would have thought that they would have been able to get into that top 3, but they still haven't. It's closing those games out, isn't it, boys?
Yeah.
That is surprising. But I mean, I think results are such a harsh reflection on a team like Scotland because they are such a good team. I don't know, I don't have the exact stats on me, but every time I watch Scotland, it's always, a few points that they lose by. So on paper, Scotland might have, never really reached above that threshold of 3rd in the Six Nations. But in my mind, they're a top tier nation, and I love watching them. So I think results is harsh for them, and certainly this Nations series has been one of those for them.
It is. Well, we made it through all of last weekend's fixtures. It's probably the perfect time to have a little look at our Northern and Southern Hemisphere leaderboard. So it was 4 wins for the North. Big up, the naughty North. Unfortunately, it was only 2 wins for the sexy South. I feel like I need to
South Africa did their job.
I don't want this to become a thing, the naughty North and the sexy South. Which does now mean that it's 8-5 to the Northern Hemisphere. So we're still pretty close.
That is close. But the agreement was never to get the tattoo for the full thing, was it?
Play to the end. Play to the end.
It's grey area there, boys, isn't it?
TMO.
Well, we've still got another weekend of rugby, and it's another jam-packed one. We have Wales hosting New Zealand, a monster clash between Ireland versus South Africa. Italy are playing Chile. Australia are heading over to Paris to take on France. And on Sunday, we've got another 2 big games with Scotland versus Tonga and then finishing off with England versus Argentina. I mean, it's literally rugby. A feast of rugby. Which fixtures there are you most excited to see, boys?
I mean, obviously, Ireland, South Africa.
That's going to be a huge one. And then I think we're both at England, Argentina as well. At the Allianz.
Oh, you boys love that Allianz, don't you?
Yeah.
Got to get down and watch rugby.
We do.
So I think we're going to kick things off with what has been coined the match of the weekend. Oh, drum roll, please. Ireland versus South Africa. I think we've got a very excited South African over there.
Woo!
How excited are you for this game, Johnny?
Oh, last time we played them, Kieran Frawley, oh my words, still in my nightmares, drop goal to defeat us by 1 point. So I'm very, very keen to right that wrong. It was at Hollywood Bets in Durban, and that was not a fun moment for us at Kings Park. And now we want to make it right at the Aviva.
Yeah, I feel like it's Ireland's chance as well to prove themselves. They've had a sort of hot and cold Quilter Nation series, but this is a big one. They'll be wanting to show what they can do, isn't it, boys?
Yeah.
Right, that being said, shall we have a look at the South African lineup? There it is. I mean, I feel silly not coming to you first, Johnny. Go on. Who are we looking out for there?
I think, to be honest, Jasper Wiesper's been one of my favorite players at the moment for the Nation Series. Arguably one of the most consistent, which is not something I would say all the time, because a season back he was borderline a walking yellow or red card. But got to give him full credit. He had an amazing game 2 weekends ago against France, and yeah, I think other than that, it's not a different side to the France match that we played, other than the fact that Kurt Lawrence has been subbed in for Kenan Moody on the wing. We've got Esterhazen on that 5.5, 2.5 split again.
He's had an incredible Quilter Nation series, hasn't he?
Yeah, and going back to Visa, I think what the interesting thing is we've got Quagga Smith on the bench now, which is a replacement 8, but he can be a flanker as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Visa plays the full 80. Probably not, to be honest. But I really don't know what Russie's got up his sleeve.
Who does? Who does?
It's one of those where I look at it and I'm like, okay, yeah, standard quality team, but I really don't know what our tactic's going to be for the weekend.
Half-time subs.
And I'm really hoping Ireland don't know what's going on either.
Well, from South Africa to Ireland, should we have a look at who they will be facing?
To be honest, I know that this is a big game and I don't want to jinx it. It's like I was scared of jinxing the French game.
You would have killed me if you ended up losing.
But do you know what the honest truth is I know that the stats don't necessarily, paint the rosiest of pictures playing in Dublin. That is a scary thing, but I'm actually feeling quite calm for this match. And I don't know why. And that, I guess, worries me, because if I feel that we're quite confident going into a game, that's probably when I should feel nervous. But kind of seeing Ireland concede quite a few tries to Australia, I was surprised to see it's not the Ireland of last year and the year before. So I don't know. I'm not as nervous as for this game as I was for the France game, but maybe I'll be swallowing my words come the weekend.
Yeah, it's also worth saying, I think that's an all British and Irish Lions front row as well. So
oh, that's
Quality.
powerhouse.
He's getting nervous now.
He's like, oh
Getting
no.
nervous.
I can't wait to ask him how jittery he gets later when we ask him for his predictions on this game.
No.
And I mean, it's been the talk of the town for the Ireland squad, this Quilter Nation series. Who's taken that number 10 spot? Prendergast is obviously starting here, but are you a team Prendergast or are you a team Crowley fans, boys? Go on, Johnny, who are you going with?
I mean, Crowley he's had a really good few games previously, but Prendergast is it's hard to pick between the two, but I'm going to go Prendergast.
I think Prendergast is playing well. I think that he links up well with the backs that have been selected for this game. So it should be really interesting to see, like we mentioned earlier, Matt Hansen returning back to 15 for his second game. He's probably going to tear it up, but I think Prendergast is holding the keys for now.
Well, I caught up with the man himself earlier today. Sam, what an incredible win against Australia on the weekend. What's the vibe like in camp?
Yeah, it's been good. I think everyone's a little bit more upbeat, and I think with the challenge ahead as well, it kind of forces you to be upbeat as well. But yeah, no, it was good after probably more of a performance that we would have wanted compared to the other games. But kind of the mood in camp's very good.
And how do you feel about your personal performance against the Wallabies?
A bit of a mixed bag. Probably slightly happy with it. Yeah, few things to touch up on. Like we maybe started quickly, but weren't maybe as accurate as we would have wanted to be in little parts that let them into the game. Now they're a good attacking team, so it's kind of hard to keep them scoreless. But they got back into the game, which was probably a little bit frustrating. But I think positive step maybe as a team, just kind of making sure that we were able to kind of regroup and go again. But yeah, happy enough with it all to work on from that game.
And you nailed a cracking drop goal in the second half, but how much do you practice those?
To be fair, I do. It's kind of the same as all my kicking. I probably do them every day, and versions of drop kicks every day. Like it's quite a, I would say, hard skill. It's taken a while to kind of get it right. But yeah, it was quite satisfying for the work to kind of go out on the pitch then.
And is there anyone in training who's incredible at drop goals that you just wouldn't expect to be?
Jonathan Gibson Park, maybe you probably expect him to be good because he's good at everything, but he's actually quite good at drop goals. He likes to pretend to teach me what to do, which is quite funny. But yeah, he's actually quite good. Ben Casey's quite good as well. Actually, Dan Sheehan, he's very good at them. But once again, I actually don't think people would be that surprised by it because he's quite good at most things as well. But yeah, no, he's very good.
And the number 1 ranked team are up next for Ireland, but what are you expecting from them?
I suppose, like, they're an incredibly powerful team with like monsters up front, and like they'll be looking to play on the front foot and kind of dominate the game. But I think they've probably over the last few years have added a good bit of attacking variety to their game. So yeah, like there's some very exceptionally dangerous backs, kind of from 9 to 15. And coming off the bench as well, like, so they're kind of a double-edged sword, I suppose. Like, they've got that power game, but they can also spread the ball. So it's going to be a very difficult day defensively, but quite an exciting opportunity.
And finally, your older brother Cian is representing Ireland. How surreal is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And like over the last 2 weeks there, we've played together, which is first consecutive weeks playing together, and it's cool. Yeah, like it's class for our family, like in our extended family. It means like everyone gets a huge day out and they're focused on 2 people rather than 1. But yeah, I found it incredibly enjoyable. It's good to have him in camp to kind of bounce ideas off as well. So yeah, it's been quite surreal to be fair.
So we're into the second fixture of the weekend. It's Wales versus New Zealand. It's going to be a tough one for Wales. Are you scared for them?
Yeah. Nah, let's call a spade a spade.
If your voice is broken.
Yeah.
They'll put up a fight. Listen, you've got to go at it with all your might. The outcome will speak for itself on the weekend.
Yeah. It's a hard one. New Zealand have won 33 of their last appearances against Wales, so it's hard to come up against that. But hey, Thomas Williams, most assists in the Nations series so far, 5 out of any team. So kudos to him. So maybe he's got something up his sleeve against New Zealand and can make the scores a bit closer than we probably predict.
Well, speaking of the Welsh team and Thomas Williams, shall we have a look to see the Welsh lineup?
We've got Harry Deeves coming in. Harry Deeves, debut. Love to see that.
It's a big debut.
Yeah. He'll obviously want to be proving something against quite a big nation like New Zealand.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your debut for your country
against New Zealand,
against the All Blacks in the Principality Stadium?
Huge.
I mean, that's kind of what dreams are made of, I'd imagine.
One for the books. And I reckon maybe, given that some people might be saying New Zealand are falling off form, go at it. Go at it with all your might.
100%.
Go at it.
What did you guys think of Rhys Hammett as well, now that he's back?
Yeah, played really well on the weekend. Great breaks. Bagged the try as well.
The fans love him as well.
They really do.
That's the most important bit, is like when he runs onto the field, people are like, oh my gosh, a Welsh hero. Let's get behind the boys.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like you said, you've got to get behind your boys. Everyone knows it's probably quite hard at the moment, but the fact that you're still there representing your nation, representing Wales, you got to back them.
You do, and he did get that try as well. Another potential first cap if he comes off from the bench, Coughlin there as well. So it's always good to see the boys getting their first caps for Wales. Unfortunately, there is no Cracknell because he's injured. So there's been a bit of a switch around with the flankers. So Mann has moved to open side. Shall we have a little look at their competition, boys, and see what the All Blacks team is looking like?
Oh, love to see Damien McKenzie actually coming on, starting a game. Masterclass McKenzie against Scotland. He's always considered that impact player, which, it's tough to typecast someone as a bench player, impact player. So this will be a time for him to kind of establish himself as one of those players that says, you know what, I can have that number 10 jersey.
Yeah, I think it's great to see Rike Ioane back as well. The fans love him, statement player. And a lot of excitement when he's on the board. Those are the kind of people that you want. The fear factor that you put in, you see a name in a team sheet and you're like, Rico's back. You're in for a good game.
Yeah.
Well, should we move on to the next fixture? And it is Italy taking on Chile. And it'll be the first time we see Chile this series. You excited to see a new team playing in the Quilter Nation Series, boys, seeing
Yeah.
what they can bring to the table?
110%. I think giving new nations that some people may not have watched before opportunities to be on the spotlight when they have had some successful games this year. People who are watching might be like, oh, what are Chile about? So this is a great opportunity to show people who are watching rugby, whether that's at home or at stadiums, oh, Chile are here, we can play ball too.
100%. I would love to see points for Southern Hemisphere being represented from Chile this weekend.
And the Los Condors have had a pretty good year so far. They've beat Uruguay, they've beaten Romania, and they've beaten Samoa, all pretty decent teams. So I think they will be coming to this match against Italy with a decent side.
They beat the Samoans.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
I think that was the game, or maybe I've got this wrong, but I was going to say I think that win might have helped them secure a spot in the World Cup for 2027. Might have got that wrong though. But
Well,
yeah.
hopefully it's right. Yeah, super excited for that. I mean, like, Italy's obviously, they got their win over Australia. So they're hopefully feeling the up. But who's to say, like, the underdog in this case, the Los Condors, which I've just learned today is their name for Chile, hopefully they can bring a win and have a nice upset for us to get excited about.
Yeah, never count anyone out of putting on a good performance.
No, we live an underdog. At the time of recording, we don't have Chile's team, but we do have the Italian lineup. There it is. Only 5 players remain from the team that faced South Africa. So there's been some big changes. There's no Liner, there's no Varney. I mean, Ioani's had an incredible Quilter Nation series, isn't he? And he's also getting a tattoo with one for you as well.
Yeah, love that moment.
Wait, are we going to get one of us and Ioani together to get the tattoo?
Or maybe we just get Waioni in his tattoo, his face on us.
Oh, I love this. New
It's like an
dimensions.
inception. Tattoo inception.
I tell you who I'm really excited to see, and hopefully he'll come off the bench, is the 19-year-old Apoku Jamfi. He's 6'5" and 23 stone. Imagine that running at you, boys.
Giant.
That's nuts. That is insane.
It is. He's been playing really well for Bath, so I'm really excited to see what he can do for the bench and hopefully make an impact for Italy.
100%. 100%.
Well, I tell you what, I'm excited to see Chile play for the first time, and I think it's going to be a good game out in Italy. Now, we're going to take it over to France, and this is going to be a pretty big game. France, Australia. We're going to have our eye on this one, aren't we, boys?
100%. I think France are going to look to lay down the law. 110%. Just be like, look, this is us. This is who we are. And Australia are going to give it their best.
Yeah, I think, as I was saying earlier, France is sort of slipping down those world rankings. They're an unbelievable team. I still think that they, on paper, are going to win this game. But Australia have played a lot of matches this year, but this is their final game of the year. I think they're going to want to finish and wrap up the year with something that people can talk about for the next season. And one of the breakthrough players of the year that I've loved watching, who arguably was quite a massive influence on South Africa, the defeat of South Africa in the Rugby Championship, was Joseph Suwili, if I've got that right. Yeah, I'm super keen to see this game. And I think I'm even going to say in the predictions later, I think Australia might even pip this one.
Well, shall we have a look at that French lineup and see who Australia are going to be facing? Oof. This looks good, isn't it? I mean, Aldry, he had an absolute stormer last weekend, and he's back in, retaining the captaincy as well, even though Fico's back in the team.
I think the back three as well, world class. We've seen LBB. Can I say LBB? Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah, we've seen LBB. He's been nominated as well for a World Player of the Year. So that back three, everyone knows that all three of them are lethal. So
Was he
dominant.
the top try scorer in the Six Nations?
He was. Good fact there. Yeah.
Substantially.
I think as well with this French team, they'll be looking to put on a performance where it's like, we actually can play good rugby. I know the results this year may not have gone their way, and people might be looking at them like I thought they were going to beat South Africa. But they still have the ability to do that and play really world-class rugby. So I'm sure this team will hopefully go out and do that.
Yeah, and Olivon's back into the back row from the second row last week as well. And he was really threatening. So I think this is going to be a good matchup between France and Australia. Speaking of, shall we have a look at that Wallabies lineup? Got Gordon back in 2 in the number 10.
I go back to that front three. That's world class front row. I always fear Tupou when he comes up against South Africa.
Makes you a bit nervous.
No, it makes me a bit nervous. So I mean, the French are not a small bunch themselves. They, I think, were 30 kilograms or thereabouts heavier than South Africa, which was a surprising stat. But it seems like these guys are just getting bigger and bigger every time I watch them.
Yeah.
Which we love. I love scrums.
I really feel like Australia have kind of got a bit of a point to prove. So the final fixture for them of this Autumn Nations series, will they do it? Only time will tell. Now, should we take it across the next fixture? And it's Scotland versus Tonga. And it's the first time we're going to be seeing Tonga this Quilter Nations series. You love to see them play, just like the Fijians.
I think it'll be exciting. What they can bring to a rugby pitch is sort of unexpected. You may not know. I think people will be like, oh, cool. Like Tonga can play ball. Tonga can shift the ball about. They have some big boys as well. And everyone loves the physicality. That is the sport of rugby. So being able to see that from a Tongan perspective, they will probably want to play at this level as well.
Yeah, I mean, talk about Tonga, Samoa, all of those island nations. Some of the biggest hits that I've ever seen when, playing against South Africa have always come from teams like that. And I remember probably 10 years ago, one of the biggest hits I've seen, I think on Skalkberger it was from a Tongan player. So definitely going to be some big tackles happening this weekend.
There are. And I feel like Scotland have got a bit of a point to prove. They're going to be a little bit bruised after last weekend. So they are going to want to pull out all the stops and get that victory to close out the Quilter Nation series. The final game of the weekend, guys, that we've not touched on, England versus Argentina. I think this is going to be a real spectacle of a game.
Yeah, I think the physicality that's going to be seen in this game is going to be huge from both the forwards and the backs. It's going to be quite a fight.
I'm going to come out with my predictions prematurely, and say Argentina's going to win this.
They're going to end England's winning streak.
100%. I don't know if you guys follow the Rayburn Shield or the Utrecht Shield.
Yeah.
I would love to see that go into the Southern Hemisphere's hands. And England have held it now, obviously, with their 10 in a row. But yeah, Santiago Carreras, 106 points so far.
Yeah, they do have quite skill from the foot, whether that's in open play or off the tee. But I think the physicality that the English side are going to bring.
Yeah. And going back to your point about George Ford, absolute. It's the first time seeing him live at Allianz on the weekend. That high ball is so dangerous. He weights it up so perfectly, and he puts it on a penny. And I'm just like, out of any nation in the world, I'm actually quite scared for England come 2027. But I think this weekend, for whatever reason,
he's got a feeling.
I think Argentina are going to pull something out the bag.
Ashok definitely doesn't agree. He's biting his tongue. Well, should we have a little look at that English lineup? It's so good, isn't it? They've just got so much strength and depth, both in the starting 15 and also the bench.
Yeah, it's good to see Henry Slade come back into the centres. But like we said, the composure from George Ford will be world class. Being able to manage that, because Argentina will just come and try and break down England, let's be completely honest, try and disrupt their whole total gameplay. So George Ford being able to manage that, slow it down, speed it up, like you said, put a couple bombs in the air, and you can't really manage that. Also,
Daly's back in after his injury, so that's huge for the England team. Also, Daly is 33. I was quite shocked by that, and he's still really.
You think he's old, or you think he's young?
Well, I'm just 33 is quite old, but he's still a really, really good player.
Yeah,
I could see him playing still in 2027 for the World Cup. So to see him back in there as well is really exciting to see.
Well, to see those post-match food thing. I mean, Pollock eating his sushi. It seems like they're quite well fed. So I think there's something in the diet that reverse ages these guys.
Yeah,
so.
Nutrition is key.
They're well looked after. I will say, though, if Freddie Stewart does score, I think we do need more team celebrations in rugby. So
bring those back.
Oh my God, how good would that be? What if they all just got in formation and did the TikTok dance? To be fair, well, so who's in the? So Stewart. Who else? If
Freeman
Pollock comes on, Freeman. So there we go. We've got 3 of them there. If any of them score,
Back
boys,
it,
if you
do
see
it.
this,
They do it. They
please.
do it in the NFL. They do little team celebrations. So why not have it in rugby?
Do you
Do a
know who
little
I
TikTok
used to
dance.
love watching doing celebrations? And might not remember him, but Brayton Polser. And he was famous for doing flick flacks over the try line.
What's a flick flack?
You run and then you just do a flick flack cartwheel in the air.
A flick
And it
flack?
was like,
I've never heard that
you
before.
let's bring that back.
Yeah, yeah,
I want
Quay
to see. I
Cooper
want to
did
see
some,
Henry
Cipriani
Pollock do
did
a
some.
Brayton Polser flick flack. That's my challenge for 2026 instead of a TikTok dance.
I love it. The flick flack. I'm still gonna have to Google what on earth that is later.
But
Is-
can we just also take a moment? I know we were joking earlier, but that front row,
Yeah.
I love
Johnny,
the front
you
row.
love a front row.
I do.
What position
I
do
do.
you play?
I used to be a winger.
I was gonna say I can't see you in the front row.
Leave all the hard work to the guys and
Ah,
just
yeah.
toss it to us. No, but not only just that front row, but I guess all the forwards. I've actually really enjoyed watching Sam Underhill this tournament. I know he's actually hasn't been spoken about as much as I think he deserves.
Guy Pepper as well.
Guy
earning
Pepper.
his caps, really showing himself.
It's hard to pick out actually a standout player in the English squad, which I think is probably the most important thing at the moment. Is England is now starting to look like a unified team, which I know I said Argentina, I have a feeling that they're going to win, but it's going to be pretty difficult against a side that seems to be quite gelled at the moment.
Guys, we've done it.
We've
We've
made
made
it.
it through all the fixtures. You can breathe. Relax those shoulders. Is there one fixture that you are most excited to see on the weekend?
Obviously, my bias goes towards South Africa, Ireland. But besides that, I think the one that I'm going to be most excited to watch is actually France, Australia. I think that's going to be an electric game. Both of them know how to score tries. I think it's just going to boil down to who can defend their try line the best. And yeah, hoping Australia bring it home for the Southern Hemisphere.
I'm fortunate enough to be at the game at the Allianz on Sunday. So England-Argentina should be a cracking match, and hopefully the Northern Hemisphere represent and do me proud.
The Northern Hemisphere prevail. Well, before we come to those prediction picks of yours, boys, and see how our north-south leaderboard is tracking, we thought we'd do some games. Bit light and
Nice.
bright before we get
Bring
into
it
the
on.
predictions. Now, I think last time, what was it we did with you guys? Was it the
We did the best forward pack or props.
Best- okay,
I think
okay.
it was somewhere,
Well-
which I love.
We're switching it up a bit. We're not doing a combined 15 or a back row or anything like that.
Yep.
We're actually going to fight it out of who you think the GOAT scrum half is, okay?
Oh.
So how we're going to do this is I am going to read out a handful of players
Yep.
of times gone by and a couple of present players, and we're going to discuss and see who we think the overall GOAT of scrum halves is in rugby. You up for this, boys?
Yeah,
That's so tough.
hit me.
I'm ready.
Let me get to it. We're starting off with, I feel like we're really going in with a good one here. Aaron Smith, who played for the All Blacks.
Banging start.
Now, next up, we have a South African, Faria de Priya.
Oh.
Johnny's buzzing about this one.
Can I take it back what I said about Aaron Smith? That is the GOAT.
Don't worry, we can discuss it later. Then we've got Greg Laidlaw, a Scottish legend.
I believe we can we take a break?
We can.
We've got actually
Oh, there he
Murray, our
is.
producer, big fan of Scotland. Up the Scots, lovely.
Shout out,
Is this
Greg.
going to be in shot somewhere? I don't know. Replace the water. There's Greg.
Mini
Greg. I love that.
God, look at
Okay.
the muscles
gonna
on
think.
him. That
I know,
six pack, incredible.
Absolutely juiced. Love it.
Just leave him there for the rest of the show. Then we got Danny Kerr,
Nice. English legend.
the English legend.
Yeah,
I love to hear that. Conor Murray,
cool.
Irish legend.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
And then finally, Anton Dupont.
You've given us a list here.
I know. What I would like to say, though, is the producer didn't give me any Welsh players. So
Oh.
if any of you guys have got any suggestions.
Thomas Williams, as you said
There
earlier.
we go.
Maybe a bit too young.
So those are the names. I've given some Welsh additions. Is there anyone that you guys think we've left off on that list?
Did we mention any Australians?
No, we actually
That was the
haven't.
biggest one for me. I grew up with George Gregan being an absolute powerhouse, and then later you have Wilginia coming in, and it's like, Australia have always been that team for me who's had an absolute pocket rocket, as I like to call it, coming out. Obviously, Aaron Smith, as we've got in the top there,
Yeah.
we'll get into the discussion, but I'm surprised we haven't mentioned any Australians.
But would they replace anyone like Aaron Smith?
Oh, I've got such a soft spot for George Gregan. I love him. And
We'll throw him into the mix.
throw him
just
into
for
the
you,
mix.
Johnny.
Okay, all right.
Well, shall we get into it? Is there anyone maybe on this list that you think that we can
Cut easily.
cut easily?
Oh, I mean,
Is there an argument that as Dupont is still playing, he can't really be classed as a GOAT?
Oh, it's a great conversation. It's a great debate.
yeah. What defines the GOAT? You know, do they
I
have to
think-
still be playing?
I think if Dupont wins a World Cup, he'll go down as the greatest rugby player of all time.
All time?
All time.
100%.
Madman. You sat next to a South African
I was
while
gonna
you
say-
said that with a straight face.
Yeah.
On this list, maybe as you say, your point is if he's still currently playing,
We can't.
it's hard to put someone down as the greatest.
Well, I never thought I'd be crossing Anton Dupont off the list, but here we are.
Here we are.
Anybody else on there that you think we can get rid of? I feel terrible saying that.
Yeah, I hate to say it for Murray, our producer. He's a big Scottish fan, but Craig Laidlaw, do we see him up there against Aaron Smith?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was an incredible player for Scotland. Whether you can say he's one of the GOATs of international rugby, I don't know.
I unfortunately might have to say the same about Danny Kerr. I know I might get some hate for it, but I don't think on this list he matches the levels of the others.
You never know, he might become the GOAT of sports punditry. So
You
there's,
never
there's
know.
still time for
The
something.
boy's working. The boy's working.
So as it stands, we've got George Gregan, Aaron Smith, Fareed Dupree, and Conor Murray.
Ooh, that's a strong four. But Conor Murray, I love the player, great British and Irish Lions rugby player. But when you put him up against those three names, particularly Aaron Smith and Fareed Dupree,
I think Conor Murray stays in.
do you think so?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he does.
Okay, tell me why.
So who would be your top two?
Top two, Conor Murray and Aaron Smith.
Fareed Dupree not on there. He's won a World Cup. Conor Murray, can't say the same.
Johnny, I just love your commitment to South Africans.
Oh, no,
Honestly, I respect it so much.
As we say, just RSA, no DNA.
Well, who would be your top two, Johnny?
My top two would be Aaron Smith and Fareed Dupree.
In that case, then, are we saying that Aaron Smith is the
I
GOAT?
think there's the overlap there.
100%.
I love Aaron Smith. Before the ball's even left the ground, it's already exited and it's onto your fly half.
Yeah,
I've
we love a
never
quick
really
ball.
seen something as good as that before.
So he's
I
our man.
think Aaron Smith is
Yeah.
Aaron Smith is the GOAT. Well, before I ask you boys for your predictions, last week, Lovani, our Southern Hemisphere representative, he went a little bit too hard supporting the South, and he went for a 6-0 clean sweep to the Southern Hemisphere, which didn't quite happen. However, he's also sent in a lovely little apology video for us.
So, not my finest moment on the punt last weekend, backing all the Southern Hemisphere boys, but it's another week and we go again. But I just want to say to everyone that followed my tips last weekend, I'd just like to apologise. To absolutely no one. When you guys on the Northern Hemisphere win more than one World Cup, come talk to me.
Took it out of my mouth. Love it.
I hate that made me laugh.
That's so good. Well, should we get down to it then, guys? Right, who should we start with first? We'll start with the South,
Let's
okay?
go for
So,
it,
Johnny, we're going to
given
go
they're
to you
losing.
first. And we're starting in Cardiff, Wales versus New Zealand. Who do you think is going to win that one?
Caitlin, I would love to back Wales, but I mean, it's a north-south debate here, and I'm quite happily going for New Zealand.
There we go.
Yeah, I'd love to say that Wales are going to turn it around and get a win. It would be historical. But I think New Zealand are going to win that one as well.
Okay, so 2 for New Zealand. Next up, Ireland, South Africa. Go on, Johnny. Who's winning that one?
I know I didn't want to jinx it last time, and I was stressed. And maybe I've just done that now, but I'm backing South Africa and Dublin to take it.
I think Aki coming back could be a huge game changer, but I might have to go South.
I love it. Ifiok, say it.
It pains me so much.
Oh, no.
I just want the North to do well, but
Go on.
yeah, I think South Africa.
South
might win.
Africa. So currently 2-0 to the Southern Hemisphere.
We love to see that.
Now, I'm really excited to hear what your prediction is for this one, Johnny. France, Australia.
Yeah, it would be terrible if I went back on my decision, but I think Australia is going to win this one. In Paris, it's a hard one to predict, but just for the sake of predictions, let's keep it in the Southern Hemisphere.
Break a lot of French hearts
See,
there.
this is where I think France are going to show up. GUA rugby, have some fun, see out the year, send Australia home with a little kind of face. I think France are going to win.
So nasty. So nasty.
Okay, well, the next fixture is Italy versus Chile. Johnny, who you going for?
That's right.
I would
That's
love
right.
to go for
Come on
a
over.
clean sweep,
Come on
but
over.
Italy have been playing so well this Nations Series, so it'll be hard to go against that. So I'm going to back Italy on this fixture.
You're going Italy.
The Kings of the North. I think Italy are taking this one.
The
Convincingly.
Kings of the North.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Jon Snow.
Yeah, like Game of Thrones.
Well, the next fixture is Scotland-Tonga. Who's taking this one, Johnny?
Oh, Ifiok's got his hands up,
Go on,
ready to
look,
go.
You go for it, Ifiok.
Scotland are convincingly winning this one.
Yeah. It's a tough one because I want to see. We haven't really seen Tonga play, so I mean they could pull out something that we haven't seen just because we haven't seen that.
It should be exciting to watch, don't get me wrong.
But I do think, given the fact that Scotland have come so close, both against New Zealand and Argentina,
they'll be hurt.
they are going to want to make sure that
Yeah.
that game is sealed against Tonga.
we're
So I'm
agreeing.
going to go with Scotland.
There we go. And the final one, I think we might disagree on this one. I don't know. England versus Argentina. If you're going to come to you first,
I'm saying we're getting game 11-1. The streak continues. England are beating Argentina.
Johnny, do you
Oh.
agree or disagree?
It's hard to disagree, but I'm going to have to disagree because Argentina, I would love to see the Rainbow and Shield come back down to the Southern Hemisphere so we can play them in the Rugby Champs, hopefully, if they've held it by then. Yeah, I'm going to go with Argentina. Argentina to beat England.
Well then, boys, after all those predictions, we have Johnny predicting 4-2 to the Southern Hemisphere. Surprise, surprise. And then Ifiok, you've gone 4-2 to the Northern Hemisphere.
The naughty North.
The
We're
naughty
going for it.
North.
We're going for it.
Well, I am intrigued to see how these predictions turn out. I don't think anyone has actually got any predictions right yet. So
And that's
maybe
the joy of rugby.
that is the joy of rugby. So we shall
Hang
see.
on, didn't I get it all right in the first one?
Did you, Johnny?
I think it rings a bell back to the tattoo,
Oh,
right? Let's go full
Roll
circle.
the tapes, roll the tapes. And if you think you can do a better job than the boys, then head over to our Q&S game zone and you can set your predictions for this weekend. This week's predictions come from the boxing world. In a week where AJ has announced he's taken on Jake Paul, we have world champion Carl Frampton giving us his predictions.
Few big international rugby games coming up this weekend, and here are my predictions. Wales versus New Zealand, comfortable win for New Zealand, I'm saying. Ireland versus South Africa, easy win for the Irish. France versus Australia, the Aussies aren't going too well at the minute, or so I believe. Fancy the French to win that one. Italy, Chile, Italy an improving side, don't know much about Chile. Italy to win that one. Scotland versus Tonga. Love watching the Islanders because they're all big, hard men, aren't they? Very, very physical. But I fancy the Scots to nick that one and a close type one. Scotland win.
Well, I tell you what, even if he's right or wrong, whatever, I'm not arguing with him. Whatever he says goes. Well, guys, that's it. We've completed another episode of Scrunbelievable. Did you enjoy yourselves?
Lovely. Always lekker, as we would say in South Africa, being on the show.
Great weekend before. Great weekend to look forward to as well.
That's a wrap on this week's Scrunbelievable. A huge thank you to the boys. And a massive thank you to all of our guests, as well as you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to scan the QR code so you can set your predictions for this weekend's fixtures. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. Join us next week for more rugby, more mayhem, and probably more wrong predictions.